A very good evening to everyone present here. I am Karishma, your host. On behalf of SEMS Welfare Foundation and the entire team, welcome you all for today's knowledge session on how to find your unique happiness blueprint at 4 p.m. By understanding and implementing your unique happiness blueprint, you can create a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and genuinely joyful. Let me introduce about our organization, SAMS. SAMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, DG Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upscaling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and college. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. In just a short time, SEMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership.
Hello, madam. How are you?
This session is collaboratively organized by DG Samaksh. DG Samaksh is a company that empowers business through data and technology. We offer a wide range of services including IT, software, data science, research consultancy, data analysis, and marketing. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker, Ms. Kanchan Choudhary, with a heart of motivational writing and a mind of impactful coaching. Kanchan Choudhary brings a wealth of expertise to her work, holding certification as a life coach, happiness coach, mindfulness coach, and workplace happiness specialist. She leverages her diverse training and personal journey to guide individuals towards greater well-being and fulfillment. So please welcome Ms. Kanchan Chaudhary.
Hello, Karishma. Thank you so much
Hi.
for this introduction. And can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you, SEMS Foundation, for having me here for this amazing session. And I hope by the end of it, all of us can be in some way or form be more closer to what actually makes us truly happy. Okay. So I would like to, kind of like introduce why I focus on happiness coaching and happiness in general. Because let's face it, every one of us is actually chasing happiness only. What I believe is that anything and everything that we want to do, whether it's in our career, whether it's in our relationships, whether it's social connections that we want to have, everything is based on why we should want to have it, why we should have a great relationship, or why we should have a great career, because it eventually makes us happy. And then when the end goal is happiness only, then, why are we chasing it everywhere around us? So this is the reason why I kind of found inside me that, and that was also kind of in a moment that, I was also down in my life, and I thought, how to actually be happy? This is like a very crucial, question that I feel everyone should ask, but nobody is asking, because everybody's, in a rat race kind of a thing, that we have to get this, we have to get that, but eventually everybody wants for that happiness only. Now, because of this thing, I believe having a personal happiness blueprint is very important. And for that, I would like to share my screen and showcase my presentation here. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so we all are here today to actually find our unique happiness blueprint. And the reason we should actually have it is that, everybody is looking for it, but for everyone, happiness is actually personal. It's like God has made us with, unique fingerprints, and as is, everybody's fingerprint different, everybody's happiness blueprint will also be different. Okay. Now, these are some of the reasons which I've mentioned here, that yes, it is personal. Then it can actually, help us prevent from comparison trap. Comparison, as we all know, is something that, we all feel jealous or envy by, thinking that, the samne wale ke ye paas hai and we don't have it. So this comparison is actually one of the biggest killers of happiness. And if we, understand that what it is that makes us, authentically happy, we would not be running after something which the other person has and we don't have. Okay, then it creates a balance also in life, because when we are running in a rat race, we don't find a place of, mindful balance inside us. We feel this we'll get, then we'll be happy, and then another thing, once we get that, then we are then we kind of start to think that, this, then the next thing is on our mind, that this will happen and then we will become happy. So we kind of create a very fine balance if we have that specific blueprint in us. Okay, then it encourages the mindful choices that we can make, because now when we know what actually makes us happy, we can think that yes, these are the activities, or these are the people we need to be around, or these are the things that we need to be doing or having and everything, so that those choices come from our own authentic self. Then provide stability during challenges. Now this has been a game changer for me, because whenever earlier challenges used to come, then there were times when I'm
नहीं
upset.
जान अम्मी फोन करे अम्मी फोन करे झूठी है मैं हाँ फोन कर भी नहीं कर
10 minutes.
So, where was I? Yeah, challenges. Everybody faces challenges, and everybody goes down to this, kind of a downhill path, that they are not able to come out of challenges. And that is one of the biggest reasons why today people are having so many mental health issues and, anxiety, depression, and everything, because they're not able to stay stable during those challenges. But once you know that what actually makes you happy, you can think and, stop in that challenge and find out what is it that you can right now do, so that you can come out of that challenge. And this, I can say this personally, because earlier, as I was saying, it used to be like, maybe weeks or days that I used to be upset about something. But now that I have all this knowledge and everything, I am able to actually get up literally maybe that day itself. Maybe for some time, I will, accept that this is something challenging that is happening. And I would also feel that, darkness, and that, I don't want to get out of the bed and everything. But that duration and the intensity of, the negative feelings of those challenges has decreased tremendously after having all this knowledge. And lastly, it empowers us to take the ownership of our own joy. I don't know whether anybody has heard it or not. Katrina Kaif also very like, there is a very trending short or reel, as you can say, these days. She says that happiness is something that one should have ownership of within us only. She says that we should not give the onus of happiness, of our happiness, to somebody else, and that somebody else can be anything and everything, anyone also. So she believes that, and I guess we all know that, how happy she is in her life, whether it's by career or whether it's the amazing husband and the family that she has. Okay, so this, I think, gives a certain kind of a perspective as to why we all need to have a unique happiness blueprint, so that we can work upon it and take ownership of our own joy and move forward in life. Okay, so moving on, now that we've understood what, like why we need it, let's see what is happiness. Again, as it was said, it was personal. So happiness is something which is, like, technically there might be some definitions, but any and every definition is subjective. Okay. Karishma, can you please? Yeah. So I want to ask you here, what is happiness for you?
When my all work is done, so I think this is happiness for me. Like for
Okay.
my kids, my family, and
Yeah.
for me too.
That is great. So, see, this was your definition of happiness. Now, this might be great for you, and it is great for you, but probably this exact definition of happiness might not be of someone.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, continuing. So, as we were saying, happiness is actually very subjective. It, as because it's, personal, as it's different. Everybody has a different definition of happiness, and that is why it's important that, there is no rule book. We need to understand that there is no rule book of happiness which says that this is what it is, and everybody will have to go through that definition of happiness. And this gives us the great amount of, I'll come back to it, but this gives us the power that we have over choosing and creating our own definition. And if we can, understand this fact that yes, we have that power, that we can choose what makes us happy, we can choose what doesn't make us happy. And then when we try to live our life, it can actually be truly fulfilling in the moment and in the long run also. Okay. So this was it, that, everybody has a different definition. So today, probably who all will be here and who all might be seeing this video later on, they might be able to find some elements of their personal happiness. This is what my intention is. Okay. Now, one of the things that my research has, found out, that there is a happiness set point we all have. Okay. Now, why is it important that, we understand this happiness set point? Have you ever thought, or like think of it in your own life? You thought that this is something which will make me happy. This car will make me happy, or this career, or this, this family situation, or whatever. Something will make me happy. And then when you got there, for few days you are like, वो Mercedes अगर किसी को मिल गई है 4-5 दिन के लिए या हफ्ते भर के लिए, वो बहुत खुश है. But then eventually, they will come back to that same point which it used to be earlier. This is the same thing with the new house also. Maybe the duration might be different. For a house, it might be like, because, first, some challenges also come, and then the excitement also comes, and there's some functions involved in India and everything. So, that duration might be different, but everybody actually comes back to their happiness set point, which is one baseline of happiness which we all have. Now, this basically depends on biology and genetics. 50% of it is genetics. So there are some people who are naturally very happy. We see them, right? And there are some people who are sad, and like nothing bad has happened to them. We know nothing bad is happening to them, but they are just not happy. Or some people who have some challenges, but they're still very happy. So that is like 50% of genetics. Okay. And one of the biggest, shockers for me also was that life circumstances actually is only 10%. Okay. We all feel that this is happening in our life, and that is happening, this is in problem, my relationship is in problem, or my career is in problem, and this is why I am not happy. But when this is just 10% of it, how are we actually placing such a big thing of our life on all those life circumstances? Though these are only just 10%. And yes, sometimes these circumstances are, not changeable also. We are not able to change our situation. But what we are able to change is, our thoughts, the intentional activity that we can do, which is actually 40%. Now, this intentional activity includes the habits that we have on our daily basis, the thoughts, the beliefs that we have. And if those thoughts, actions, and beliefs are in a negative space, are not making you happy, then you will actually be more unhappy than the life circumstances that you are in. Okay. So this is how it is based. Now, you might think that, okay, 50% तो genetics ले गया. अगर कोई actually में इतना दुखी रहता है, तो how can it change? But the good news is that only the 10% of life circumstances that you actually cannot change are the determining thing that
ನಾಳೆ ನೀವು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಒಂದು
yeah. So only the 10% of the life circumstances that we cannot change are the things that we actually cannot change. Otherwise, the 40% of intentional activity and the 50% of genetics also can be changed. Now, how genetics, we feel that, DNA, whatever DNA was fit into us at the time of birth, it doesn't change. No, actually, research has found that DNA also kind of changes. Why? Because there's this term called neuroplasticity, which Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about a lot. So in neuroplasticity, if we think of certain thoughts, whether that's negative or whether that's positive, those actually create some neurocircuitry in our brains. And when the positive ones take hold of, like new neurons are being born every day, every single second, in fact. And when we can make them positive and happiness inducing, actually we can change the circuitry of our brain and train our brain to be happy. So the good news is that the happiness set point which you or anybody might be having right now of maybe not feeling happy, that can change, and that can change up to 90%. And more than 90% if you are able to also change your life circumstances. So that is one good happy news here, right? Now that we've understood that, yes, we have that power and everything, so let's try to create our own personal happiness blueprint. For this, I think, Karishma, would you like to volunteer a bit?
Yes, ma'am.
There are some little activities that we'll try to have, and we'll kind of, want to, because it can work as a demo also for anybody watching it right now. I can probably not ask everybody to do it, but you can be my partner here, right? Thank you. So one of the first steps that we need to take on our happiness journey is that we need to, have an awareness of where we are actually standing right now. So these are the questions that we want to know, and these are like, when do I feel most joyful and fulfilled? If you can share it, Karishma, please do. If not, you can maybe write it down somewhere.
Ma'am.
आप share नहीं कर रहे? Okay, no
Ma'am,
worries.
when I go for shopping, it's really true. So I feel very joyful.
Okay, great.
This is also one happiness for me.
That's good. ये actually almost सारी ladies के लिए, मेरे लिए भी, I
Yes.
agree. Okay, then what moments in my life have brought me the most happiness? पहले की कोई moments, memory कोई हो या इस तरह?
When I meet my life partner.
That is very good. So this is something which you knew that ये मेरे साथ हुआ, and I was happy at that time, and you are also in awareness of that right now when I do shopping, or when my work is done, or when my kids are taken care of, or when my family
Yes.
is good, that is all the things that I'm happy about. Okay. And the last question we all need to ask is, am I chasing someone else's version of happiness or my own?
Yes, now I am choosing for a good job.
Okay.
For a long gap. Actually, I didn't work from 9 years because
Okay.
I am taking care of my kids.
Hmm.
So now I want to start a career again. So this is a big
This is
happiness for me now.
And this is your own version of happiness, and this is actually making you more happy in life right now,
Yes.
right? That is great. So now that we have that kind of an awareness, this is something I'm very happy for you, Karishma, that you knew all these answers, and I would be very happy of, if everyone can have some answers with from these questions. Okay. Now, the second part is that we all have some, core values inside us. And those are the values which drive our life. Whether we know it consciously or not, but everybody is driven by the basic core values that we all have. Now, this is a very long list, I agree. But if someone can, like go through it and find just 5 values that they for sure know that they are their value, then it can be very helpful in finding out what will actually make you feel happy. So for this, I can share my own experience here. So, what is it like, when I am looking at this such a long list, I'm like, okay, maybe everything is so good, so many qualities, and almost all these qualities are very nice. I feel I can have most of them, but there are actually some which will be more in alignment with what I am as a person. So, for me, one of the first core values is creativity. So, how this happens is that if I know my core value is creativity, and if for any reason I'm not being able to be creative for a long time, like I'm basically a writer, as you mentioned in my introduction also. So if I'm not being able to create something through my writings, or sometimes I also paint, so if that is not happening, then there will come a time when I will actually feel that I'm not happy. Okay. And this is something which everybody should understand, that when we identify what our core values are, and then we can have certain, daily habits around those core values, then we know definitely it will make us feel happy. For someone, if fitness is a very core value of their being, not going to the gym is just not something they will actually be fine with. They will have to go to the gym, or any kind of workout, basically. Then if for someone, romance is a great value that they need to have in their life, then if their partner is romantic with them, then they will be happy. But if they're having arguments, even if they know that that argument will, be ended by the end of the day, even then they will feel unhappy. So these core values we all need to understand. And probably by this time, Karishma, आपने थोड़ा सा पढ़ लिया होगा. तो would you like to share what are your core values? Like इस list में से, you can see my screen, right?
Okay. Achievement, adventure, beauty, balance, challenge, charity, curiosity, enthusiasm, family, fitness, freedom, friendliness.
ये तो बहुत ज्यादा होगी, 5 बहुत.
Okay.
बिकॉज अगर आप इतने सारे रखोगे और आप ये सोचोगे कि ये सारी चीजें मुझे खुश करती है और ये सारी चीजें, ये दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड ना, कि ये सारी चीजें बहुत अच्छी हैं लेकिन कुछ हैं जो कि बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, जिनके बिना हमारा काम नहीं चल सकता. सो प्रॉब्ली दोज, वट एवर दोज आर फॉर यू, मे बी by now you understand that if these core values I am, inculcating and embracing in my daily life, then I am more happy rather than if I'm not having these core values on a daily basis. थोड़ा समझ आया?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो बेसिकली यही चीज है दैट वी ऑल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर कोर वैल्यूज आर एंड देन काइंड ऑफ हैव दोज काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटीज मोर इंटेंशनली इन आवर लाइफ ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. ओके, नाउ द थर्ड स्टेप इज, इसमें मुझे थोड़ा सा आपकी हेल्प लगेगी. दिस इज अ हैप्पीनेस व्हील. नाउ दिस इज समथिंग, सो नाउ ये हैप्पीनेस व्हील बेसिकली है, दीज आर सम एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ आवर लाइफ विच काइंड ऑफ लाइक सबके लिए जरूरी होते हैं, दीज मेजर एलिमेंट्स टू मेक अस have a fulfilled life on a daily basis and in the long run. And when we can understand कि हम वहां उन हर एक एस्पेक्ट पे कहाँ स्टैंड कर रहे हैं. सो फॉर दिस आई वुड लाइक एवरीबडी, इफ दे आर डूइंग इट विद मी, एंड करिश्मा आप मेरे साथ करिएगा, फ्रॉम 0 to 10 हाउ सेटिस्फाइड डू यू फील इन ऑल दीज एलिमेंट्स. तो एक एक करके बोलते हैं. So in terms of creativity, how satisfied do you feel you are in terms of creativity?
6.
Spirituality?
8.
Okay. Learning?
Learning 7.
Nutrition?
Nutrition 5.
Okay. So this is something which you know that you have to work upon more. And when you will
Yes.
work upon more, you will actually feel, wow, I'm doing something good for myself, right?
Yes.
Physical activity?
Physical activity 8.
Finances?
Finances, I am not working, so 0. I have to
Okay.
work on this.
But this is something which you know that you have to work on it, and then that
Yes.
will give that sense of happiness and internal peace inside you. Okay. Career?
Career, I am doing, so it's a 6, 7.
Okay. Social life?
Social life is 2.
Okay. Would you want it to be increasing?
Yeah, not too much.
बट एक
Little
नॉर्मल
bit.
लेवल होना चाहिए ना.
Yes.
7 8 तक पहुंच जाओ, 10 की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट?
Yes.
या रिलेशनशिप्स?
Relationship 10 on 10.
दैट इज गुड. होम एनवायरनमेंट?
8.
ओके. हेल्थ?
My health is 10 on 10.
वेरी गुड. एंड जॉय?
Joy is 9.
That is good. So अभी आपको पता चला that so many aspects of life which are actually important, major of them are good for you right now. So I assume आप normally happy रहते होगे, right?
Yes.
That is. So this is what it is कि अगर normally आपका happiness set point एक अच्छे level पे है, तो even if some positive happens and even if something negative happens, you will come back to it. Some challenges might happen, which obviously it happens, सबके साथ होता है. But after those challenges are over and the learnings and lessons we've taken from them, we actually return to that point. And this is where the assessing is important, that जो elements अच्छे चल रहे हैं, they are great, keep working on that. And the elements which are not working right now and we want the improvement, we can include more actions or activities and habits in our daily life so that we can, have that balance. If this happiness wheel has these elements, and if we can kind of have a balance in all these elements, we are actually more prone to a better, happier and fulfilled life. So that is why this assessing part was important till now. Okay. Now, till now we saw what we should do, which will make us feel happy. Now we also need to understand that, there are some happiness blockers out in our life. Whenever we are even, cleaning our house or our wardrobe and everything is not, what we will do is basically हर चीज को बाहर निकाल देते हैं पहले. Okay. And then some things will go to the dustbin, some things will maybe go to the charity, or some things will, be given to someone else as a gift or something, and then most of the things will be kept back in our cupboards, and that is how we keep doing our cleaning. And right now it's the spring season, spring cleaning is also important. So this is something which we can do for our own system also, that what happiness blockers we have, we need to identify them and remove them. Okay. Now these are some common ones that I want to discuss. The I'll be happy when mindset. This is something which in the narrative I've been saying that, we all have this thing that जब वो चीज हो जाएगी तब मैं खुश रहूंगी या तब मैं खुश रहूंगी. So we all are postponing our happiness, which is which is the negative mindset. Why? Because actually, if we can do right now here, मेरे साथ जो भी कर सकते हैं। करिश्मा, just a second.
Yes,
आपको
ma'am.
बहुत तंग कर रही हूँ ना? Okay, so we'll do this little छोटी सी एक्सरसाइज है जिससे कि पता चलेगा कि अभी क्यों जरूरी है कोई भी चीज। ओके, नॉड योर हेड। ओके, दिस इज हैपनिंग राइट, थैंक यू। नाउ ट्राई एंड नॉडिंग योर हेड टुमारो। टुमारो नहीं हो सकता ना, क्योंकि टुमारो इज नॉट एग्जिस्टिंग राइट नाउ।
Yes.
And if I say that try nodding your head yesterday, वो भी
Possible.
नहीं हो सकता. Why? Because this moment is there. Happiness is something like nodding only. You are doing something or you are being something, and when you are something in that moment itself, that is when you're actually happy. If you think that I will be happy then, if in the same manner जो जैसे मैंने nodding बोला, कल तो आएगा ही नहीं ना, कल तो imagination है, and the yesterday is a memory. So why are we living our life in a memory or in an imagination, and why we are not living our life in the present moment? So this is something which we all need to understand, that this mindset of I'll be happy when needs to go, and we should be in the mindset of I am going to be happy now. I am happy now and I choose to be happy now. Okay. So this is one of the biggest blockers of happiness which people have. And if they understand it, a lot can change in their life. Then comparison and social pressure. This is again very important, and we have discussed it earlier also. There are so many people who try to have this comparison with others, that they are having it and I don't have it, and that is the reason I'm not happy. If you keep comparing it with people and keep complaining about your own life, then you'll never be happy. This is a truth. Okay. Then the negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Now, this is a very big thing, and this is something which, if changed, it actually can be a life-changing thing for everybody, especially the people who are having this. So, whatever thoughts and talks that keep going on in our minds, if that is negative and if that is something which is inducing unhappiness in your life, and if you keep continuing doing that, it will actually keep perpetuating your situation only. Why? Because we all know that human beings are the creatures of habit. Now if you are in the habit of being unhappy right now, having that negative self talk right now, having those limiting beliefs right now, then even if you think that when I will get that thing and then I will be happy, that is not going to happen, because your habit is right now itself of being in an unhappy state, and that is not going to change just because you attained that thing. For some time, yes, it can make you feel ecstatic for some time, but you will again come back to your set point, whichever that is. Okay, so we all need to monitor what we talk about ourselves. Are we complaining more? Are we comparing more? Are we criticizing ourselves and even the world around us? If we are having those negative self talks and limiting beliefs, then it is very much not possible that you can actually be happy right now and in the long run itself. Okay, now the next part is that fear of failure and judgment. We all have that when we try to try something new in our life. When we have that fear of log kya kahenge, या अगर ये सही नहीं हुआ तो, and that is something, yes, naturally it comes, but if that fear has taken an emotional root inside you, you cannot be happy, and that fear needs to come out. We need to be aware that we are fearful of whatever situations or people or whatever that is, and then we need to actually overcome from it. Okay, next part is overthinking and worrying. It is again what goes on in our mind. If we are taking up any aspect that is problematic and we are just overthinking repeatedly, and this loop that we get into, if we don't come out of it, if we don't snap out of it, then it will keep making us feel bad. And one of the best ways to do it is, if you catch yourself overthinking and worrying, start a backward counting from 100 and 1 तक लेके जाओ. उससे क्या होगा? Because your mind is, it can actually focus on just one thing at that time. And if you are overthinking and you caught that and you start that backward counting from 100, that will make you lose track of whatever thought pattern was going, and then you can come back to the normal neutral state. And from that normal neutral state, then you can understand, this is where I want to go. I don't want to be overthinking. In any case, overthinking is not going to solve any problem, that we all know. But because we keep keep ruminating over something and making our own life like bad, I can say so. By doing that, we need to cut that, and for that, awareness is very important. And again, neglecting self-care here, I would mean that taking care of our mind, body and soul. It's not just going exercising or having the right nutrition, but also being in a mindful state. If we are not mindful in general, we will not be able to understand and identify when we are triggered or when we are having that fear or when we are overthinking. If we have the habit of, being in a mindful state in general, then we will be able to catch those negative elements that are, our mind is trying to throw at us, and we can stop them. Then another happiness blocker is unresolved emotional baggage. We all come from that baggage. Everybody has some story in their life which has made them feel bad, whether that is from the childhood or from any other phase of their life. But if that emotional baggage is still, you're still carrying that, you cannot actually step into a good future and a good present. And the point is, yes, future is imaginary, but it can be made beautiful if your present is right now good, which cannot happen from an unresolved emotional baggage standpoint. And the last one here that I want to discuss is toxic environments. Now, this toxic environment can be either at home or at office, or maybe extended family or anything, or the friends. If we know that some people and situations are toxic for us, if they are not making us feel happy, if they are actually dragging you down, then it's important that you make a distance. If possible, cut them out from your life. If not possible, if that is not possible, then at least don't be around their energy so much that you are not able to feel what your happiness can be. And once we are able to understand and identify so many of these, happiness blockers, and when we remove this garbage from our life, now this is, I know, it is being said, अभी मैंने बोला है इतनी सारी चीजें हैं, it is not something जो ऐसे हो जाएगा किसी से. It will take work, but the more we understand that yes, we need to do this work, and when we are in a continuous, चाहे दिन में एक चीज आप सोचो कि आपको इसमें से करनी है, but if you are continuously working on yourself and reprogramming your mind and your nervous system towards a happier place, then there will come a time when you will be actually more happy. Now, अब हमने समझ लिया कि अच्छा क्या है, कोर वैल्यूज क्या हो सकती हैं हमारी, ये समझ लिया कि हैप्पीनेस व्हील क्या चीज है, ये समझ लिया कि हमें क्या क्या निकालना भी है और रखना भी है कुछ कुछ. सो दिस कम्स, यहाँ पे हम आ जाते हैं टू क्रिएट दीज डेली हैप्पीनेस रिचुअल्स और हैबिट्स. नाउ दीज कैन बी डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट पीपल, बिकॉज it is personal, because it is different, because it is subjective. But these are some suggestions which probably, scientific research has also said that if you are doing these things, you are more likely to be happy. But nonetheless, if this doesn't really make you happy, then try some things else which are on your like in relation to your core values and everything. So one of the things that has been life changing for me is actually gratitude journaling. We all know that gratitude is very important. Being thankful for what we have right now in our life is very important. And if we can, have this daily habit of writing it, whether in the morning or at night. I basically try to do it at night because I've had this whole day, and these are some things I know that yes, they actually, did something good for me. So having that habit of listing out just 5 things by the end of the day, that these are the things that made you happy, this works a lot greatly in finding what makes you happy, and in the long run finding how you can be happy consistently. Now, this is something which I also kind of changed to a happiness journal. This is, I think, 3-4 years back, I did this thing. Gratitude journaling I was doing for like 6-7 years. And from that, I got this idea that why should I not, even have a happiness journal? Now, for that, what I did was, for continuously 28 days, I just did a gratitude journal है कि उसमें आपको एक लाइन लिखनी है बस, I am grateful for this right now. But happiness journal में what I did was, I wrote one entire page of what specific one thing, just one thing, not 5 things, just one thing that made me happy that day. Now, this was actually a game changer again for me, because वो gratitude journaling से happiness journaling पे आया. उससे फायदा मुझे ये मिला that I now had a list of at least those 28 things which I knew definitely make me feel happy. And if there are days when I'm sad and upset, I know I can literally, वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, chit system में से उठा के, and I can do something which will make my mood better. So gratitude journaling and happiness journaling, if you do, you will find a lot more about what authentically makes you feel happy. Okay. Next point is mindfulness meditation. Now, we've been talking about how if we are mindful in that moment, we are able to identify what is triggering us and what is making us feel happy. And on a regular basis, if you can get into the habit of meditation, and that to a mindful meditation, then you rewire your brain to, find calmness in those moments. Karishma, आप करते हो meditation?
Sometimes, not daily.
Not daily, but do you feel a difference when you do it, whenever you do it?
Yes, yes.
है ना? हाँ, so that is what मैं आपसे इसलिए बार बार बात कर रही हूँ, so that there can be, to and fro between people. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So meditation is important. Now, जैसे mind के लिए meditation जरूरी है, brain के लिए meditation जरूरी है, exercise is important for the body, and if we are not moving our body, we will feel a stagnant energy. ये तो, like, I think this is a very common knowledge that exercise is important, but it is important for your happiness is an even more important knowledge, which I don't know how many people know, but if, like, literally research says that if you are able to take even a 10 minutes walk, your mind actually starts to shift. So
Yes.
exercising is very important. Then quality time. Now, this quality time can be with yourself also, when you are indulging into some self-care activities. Okay. And this quality time, yes, it is very much important for relationships. Relationships are a very big aspect of how we can find and be happy. And if we are not having fulfilling relationships, जरूरी नहीं है कि सारे रिलेशनशिप आपकी लाइफ के अच्छे हों, लेकिन कुछ होने चाहिए जो आपको वो फील कराए that life is good. And if you are having those people around you, and if you are spending quality time with them, then you can definitely have this kind of a habit that हाँ, this is something which actually makes me feel happy. Okay. ये तो सबको फील होता है.
Yes.
अगर नॉर्मली घर पे भी टाइम नहीं मिल पा रहा है किसी को, इफ दे आर गोइंग आउट फॉर डिनर एंड एवरीथिंग, मे बी इवन वंस अ वीक, दैट ऑल्सो गिव्स अ वेरी गुड बूस्ट टू द हैप्पीनेस ऑफ इंटायर वीक, इन फैक्ट, राइट? सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And passion time. Now, passion time is here. What I'm referring to is as hobbies. Hobbies are something which everybody knows hobbies क्या होती है, but adulthood में आके हम सब अपनी hobbies को छोड़ देते, because we are so caught up in daily life. घर को संभालना है या करियर को संभालना है, एंड इन दैट टाइम हॉबीज के लिए बिल्कुल टाइम गया. एंड देन व्हेन द हॉबीज वाला टाइम गया, देन you feel an emptiness. This happened with me also. I was when I started my career as a writer, I was working like non-stop at a stretch, 9 10 घंटे, and yes, I was fine about that, but there came a time when I was like, what is the point of it? Why am I not feeling happy even if I'm doing the work that I wanted to do? And that is when I started painting. Okay. And whether I did it for 10 minutes or whether I did it for an hour, I felt so happy. And that short duration of 10 minutes or that 1 hour actually gave me the fuel to, do everything else. So this is very important, that we should all find what, makes us, and this is also something which is related to your childhood. This is basically, कह सकते हैं कि आप अपने inner child के पास वापस आ रहे हो, अगर आप hobby में indulge कर रहे हो. And when you can be that child, even Shah Rukh Khan says that. Shah Rukh Khan is almost 60 years, I suppose, right? And even he says that अगर हमने अपने inner child को मार दिया ना, तो लाइफ में कुछ नहीं बचे. So we need to have something to give to that inner child, and that is a hobby. Okay. And one of the last things that I want to include here is acts of kindness, and which can also be उसमें slash करके भी charity or donation or volunteering. Okay. So now this is something, जैसे we all have some needs, food, shelter, clothing and everything. One of the needs which is very crucial for making us happy is the need for giving. When we are in a state that we are able to give something to someone without expecting anything in return, that is when we are actually being a very good human. And when we are that, we actually become more happy. Has anybody, felt that when you are giving something to someone, a gift or time or donation, that person is happy, but you feel that you are more happy. So, those acts of kindness, donation, charity, and volunteering, those are also very important. And when we can, now this is something I can't say कि आप रोज कर सकते हो, but maybe in a week, giving 10 minutes to a charity or anything, and maybe in a month if you have a donation, like I kind of have that habit, I make monthly donations. So whatever that cause is special to you, everybody has a special cause that is close to their heart, and if you are able to do something for that, it actually gives you very internal satisfaction. Okay, so these are some of the suggestions
Hello.
these are some of the suggestions that I'm saying that we can include in our happiness rituals. But it definitely will be different for different people. Okay. Now, वहां तक आते टाइम तक, Karishma, I would again like you to be on your mic. Karishma, hello. And Mike, आप mute नहीं कर पा रहे हो? Unmute. I guess I'm doing that. Are you able to now unmute yourself? Who else is the host with me? I guess the co-host or the host has.
Ma'am,
हाँ.
now I'm ready.
Now, yes, yes, yes.
My
Okay.
laptop is hanged.
ओके ओके नो वरी हाँ तो अभी तक जितनी बात हुई और जितना आपने अपनी लाइफ को असेस किया या कोर वैल्यूज को देखा, कैन यू फाइंड समथिंग विच यू वर नॉट डूइंग एंड विच यू थिंक यू कैन डू राइट नाउ, स्टार्ट डूइंग एट लीस्ट?
My passion time.
ओके.
I'm not focusing on my passion.
And was it a part of your core values, like
Core
having a
values.
hobby or recreational thing?
Yes.
Little bit at least, like we cannot totally rule out, right?
Okay. From
हाँ.
core values.
हाँ.
From core values.
वो क्या पैशन टाइम में अगर आप उस चीज को अपनी लाइफ में लाते हो, विल इट स्ट्रेंथन योर कोर वैल्यू?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So that is what I'm saying. When we try to find what is in alignment with our core values and what we are lacking right now. जैसे क्रिएटिविटी जब हैप्पीनेस व्हील में आपका आया था, तब उसमें भी आपने कुछ कमी छोड़ दी थी, उसमें 10 on 10 नहीं दिया था, तो वो
Yes.
क्रिएटिविटी, सो नाउ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड, यू कैन मेक दैट कोरिलेशन कि वहां से वो कोर वैल्यू में भी था, वो एक हैप्पीनेस व्हील में भी था, एंड नाउ करते करते वो एक एक्टिविटी में आ चुका है, दैट दिस इज समथिंग विच आई कैन डू विच कैन मेक मी फील हैप्पी. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको रोज करना है, बट maybe once in a week or twice in a week, if you do, you will feel that happiness inside you, and that can change your happiness set point in the long run. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what I would, encourage others also to do. Find that correlation from their core values to their happiness wheel and assessing where they are lacking right now. जो areas अच्छे हैं, that is great. Be at it. Good luck for that. बट जो एरियाज अच्छे नहीं हैं, उनको बेटर करने के लिए आपको उन हैबिट्स को या रिचुअल्स को लाइफ में लाना है, एंड दैट कैन एक्चुअली मेक यू फाइंड दैट यूनिक हैप्पीनेस ब्लूप्रिंट आपका, कि वो स्पेसिफिकली आपके लिए है वो चीज, वो कोई और नहीं है. मे बी किसी और के लिए वो चीज जर्नलिंग हो सकती थी, किसी और के लिए वो एक्ट्स ऑफ काइंडनेस हो सकता था, बट फॉर यू इट वॉज पैशन टाइम, and for different people it will be different things. And again I am saying these are just suggestions, और भी चीजें हो सकती. okay, now अब हमने मान लिया, ठीक है, मिल गई हमें खुशी एक पॉइंट तक आके, वी आर नाउ इन अ गुड थिंग, बट व्हाट नेक्स्ट? नाउ ये जो चीज है ना हैप्पीनेस, इट इज नॉट कि अब मिल गया, खत्म, अब लाइफ खत्म, ऐसा नहीं होता. ओके, इट इज नॉट स्टैटिक, इट एक्चुअली इवॉल्व्स एज वी इवॉल्व. In one of the events that I recently attended, I heard a speech by someone, and they said that if we are actually chasing happiness, and if we are not changing our life, if we are not growing in our life, then that happiness doesn't mean anything. What basically ये सारी बात का मतलब क्या है? That every 2 years, it like some research says that every 2 years we kind of evolve from our body level also. वो I think ऐसा है कि cells change so much that in almost like a year or something, your entire body's cells are different. And when your body is different, your mind can also be different, your brain can also be different. And when we are not in alignment with that growth, and we are not growing ourselves, if we are not progressing ourselves, then actually we are dead. It is as simple or as good or bad to say it. But yes, if we are not progressing in life, we are not growing in life, we are actually dead. And dead people cannot be happy. ये बहुत ही weird वाला example हो गया, but yes, that is true. If we are not growing, that can actually be a problem. और growth का मतलब ये नहीं है that like every month you have to find something बहुत बड़ा वाला dream or anything. No, there will come a time, like at least I can say for myself, there comes a time that yes, this is a skill that I want to learn, this is an achievement that I want to have, and once I have it, I'm happy, good, but now I want to even grow more. And when that growth happens, then I feel a lot more happy. So when we can have this intention of having a growth mindset in us, then we are not just being happy in the moment, but we are also making sure that future में चलते चलते भी we will be happy. And because we've identified some of the habits that right now we are able to do, and when वो habits हमारे को अभी उस time पे खुशियां दे रही हैं, then they can actually ensure that even in the future they will keep giving us happiness, because happiness is a habit. It is a choice that you are actually making for yourself. Okay. And now coming to the last step here, which जो हमने करिश्मा से पूछा उस टाइम पे, and she very beautifully said that passion time is something which the action that she wants to take right now. Now this is something जब आपने पता किया है कि आपको क्या खुशियां दे सकता है, कोर वैल्यूज से क्या आ रहा है, आपकी हैप्पीनेस व्हील से क्या आ रहा है, एंड व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट यू वांट टू रिमूविंग भी कर लिया, एडिंग भी कर लिया, एंड पता भी कर लिया कि क्या है जो हमको खुशी दे रहा है. नाउ इट्स टाइम फॉर एक्शन. अगर सब कुछ पता करने के बाद यू आर नॉट एबल टू टेक एनी एक्शन ऑन दैट डे, देन दैट मीन्स यू आर नॉट learning. Learning is not just getting that knowledge in your head and forgetting about it the next day. Knowledge is actually implementing. If you are able to get that knowledge and implement it right that day, or at least buffer time अगर अपने आप को दे दो, so at least that week, then that knowledge actually solidifies in your mind. So these are some examples. Again, I'm saying that if you lack connection, if anybody of you thought that relationships are not fulfilling right now in your life, then the suggestion would be that you call a loved one whenever you are ready for that. Okay. Not to fight or anything, but have a heart to heart conversation. Then if you feel that you are stuck in a routine, then the great thing to do is that you try something new. Us newness se kya hoga, that you will also find other things that can actually make you feel happy. Okay. Then the last example here that I'm going to give is, if self-doubt actually holds you back, which can be a problem for many people, then I would suggest that you write one self-empowering belief for yourself. सबके हमारे बहुत limiting beliefs रहे हैं जिन्होंने हमें कहीं ना कहीं पे down लेके आया है. And if you are able to identify any one of those beliefs and work on that and make it into a positive belief, okay, and start to say this as an affirmation by heart, then you will be able to overcome that self-doubt. So these are some of the examples of the actions that you can take right now. And वो right now action लेना, right now मतलब subjective हो जाएगा, today भी हो सकता है, कल भी हो सकता है, but actually कल नहीं है, because as we said कि वो हमने nodding किया, and we can nod right now, but we cannot nod in the tomorrow, or we cannot nod yesterday. So doing it right now is what's important. So I hope everybody is able to find at least one thing that they can be, take a small action. Another thing, like if someone is not being able to go to their, fitness regime or anything, or a nutrition or something, go do that. Evening walk पे चले जाओ आज. अभी तो time है, you can actually go, and the weather is also very nice. We can actually go for that. Okay. Now we've been able to do that. And the last thing that I want everybody to say and feel by their heart is that I choose to be happy now. करिश्मा, आप मेरे साथ बोलेंगे?
Yes, ma'am.
I choose to be happy now.
I choose to be happy now.
Okay. Does that feel empowering?
Yes, ma'am.
That is great. यही मेरा intention था, and I am hopeful that this is something which everybody else can also feel. They can understand that कोई भी action लेना है, किसी से भी बात करनी है, कुछ भी करना है, everything is right now, and you have the power to do that action. Be that person right now and make your life happier right now. Thank you so much. And this was it from my side. I can stop sharing. And wow, we are right on time. I just saw that. Okay, now I open the floor to questions. And if anybody has any questions, I would love to answer them.
Yes, I'm GD Garg.
हाँ जी, बताइए.
You said about write down what empower you, self
Hanji.
empowerment. I
Hanji.
have chosen two things in my life.
Okay.
I write a poem a week, and
Okay.
I have written more than 300 poems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and secondly, whenever opportunity comes to me, I write the essay on that topic. Whenever somebody asks in some occasions. So I definitely write the essays. I have won a national award on this. Dr. Abdul Kalam has given.
वेरी गुड. तो ये आपका क्रिएटिविटी कोर वैल्यू रहा होगा सर, राइट?
Yes, yes,
And
definitely.
when you are able to
And
do that, you are happy.
no, I'm happy because I earned about 5,000 e-certificate on various webinars and quizzes.
That is great.
And I think this is a good passion also. People
Yes,
can
definitely.
adopt this passion.
Definitely. I'm so happy
Attending-
to hear it.
Attending the webinars, attending the quizzes. Lot of webinars happened in the Corona period, and
Right,
lot of So if somebody has attended, he might have earned these certificates.
Right. And I can guess curiosity भी आपका एक core value रहा होगा, right, sir?
Yes, yes, definitely.
हाँ.
I'm a BTech MBA,
Okay.
BTech Mechanical MBA. I have served 10 years in BHL Haridwar and 27 years in HL Lucknow.
Wow.
So I have spent 37 years with public sector also.
तो अभी आपकी life कैसी चल रही है, sir?
I am
Happy हैं
retired.
आप?
10 years have passed after retirement. I am 72. And
Okay.
I am spending my time in webinars and quizzes still and getting e-certificate. I am
That is-
very happy.
That is so great. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so
Yes.
much for sharing this, sir. ये actually में सबके लिए बहुत inspiring हो सकता है कि एज कोई वो नहीं होता कि अब हमने learn करना छोड़ दिया. The more we keep learning, the more we keep growing, and the more we are happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else has any sharing or question? I guess nobody. Okay. Thank you so much everyone for attending this webinar, and I hope आप सबको कुछ nuggets यहाँ से मिले होंगे जिसको लेके आप आगे जा सकते हो and you are able to find more things. अगर आपके पास हैं वो चीजें जो आपको खुश कर रही हैं, it is great. And if you're able to find more things to make your life more happy, then I think my job here is done, and I am very happy for myself. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is very joyful session today.
Thank you, Karishma. And thank you for being a sport. आपने जब भी मैंने जो पूछा और करने को बोला आपने किया. Thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend our sincere gratitude to Ms. Kanchan Choudhary, our outstanding speaker today. We were privileged to hear her fascinating and thought-provoking session on how to find your unique happiness blueprint. Through his remarkable ability to convey information, Ms. Kanchan Choudhary shared insightful discoveries and deeply motivational concept. Her engaging participation captivated us and inspired us to reflect on the significance of fleeting moments. We appreciate the time and effort she invested in delivering this enriching program. Thank you, Ms. Chaudhary.